Proper radio from Yorkshire.
It's 7 p.m. and it's Tuesday night. I got my laptop on and I feel alright. I got a few joints rolled and my munchies made. Got my headphones on and I close the door, don't disturb me. It's time to stand up tall and say some things about the shitty world we're living in with the boys at Raconteurs News. Sur Raconteurs, Sur Raconteurs, Sur Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News. Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News, oh yeah. Hello, this is Heath Dweft and I listen to Raconteurs News.
And good evening, welcome to Raconteurs News this Tuesday night. It's the 16th of January 2018. It's a Tuesday night and we've got a show lined up for you. I don't know where, it's probably going to be a bit fractured and a bit fractious, but we've certainly got a show lined up for you this evening. Hope you've had a great day. You can listen to me. My name's Jason Holmes. You can listen to me on Spreaker.com and on RaconteursNews.com every Monday and Tuesday, 7 till 9 o'clock, and bringing you some great guests. We've had some brilliant guests in the last few weeks. Andrew Johnson was on. We've also had Genuine Royalty here on Raconteurs News as well, so that's been awesome. So we're moving forward, onwards and upwards, and it looks like 2018 is going to be a bumper year for us here at Raconteurs News. So your continued support is really, really appreciated. And the support I'm talking about is listening to us and some of the causes that we put together, that we highlight. The support that we've had from Raconteurs News listeners has been absolutely incredible. And speaking of which, I was contacted last week by a Raconteurs News listener. He wanted he wanted some advice as well as wanted to sort of vent his spleen, and we had a good chat for I think about an hour. I think we were last Friday on the phone, and we're pretty much on the same page as far as anything else goes. But we've got him on a bit of a tight schedule as well, because any minute now he's expecting a call from his wife regarding his daughter, who's been having an operation in hospital this afternoon, and he's going to have to rush off and pick her up, but he should be only gone for about half an hour. And in the event of that, I think I'll probably drag Andy in just to keep the continuity of the show going. So welcome to Raconteurs News, and I'd like to welcome our guest this evening. Good evening. Super Leeds is not going to be very happy. Another Lancastrian, another one from Lancashire, from over near Blackburn. Good evening to you, Karl Davies. How are you doing, my friend?
How you doing? Pleased to meet everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good.
Yeah, Mr. Super Leeds. Just to boot things off. There's been a bit of animosity about us over in Lancashire, so just Super Leeds. Can we just keep a lid on it tonight for me, will you? Just for one night, eh? We don't want to be putting each other in each other's place. Let's just keep it, constitutional. Thank you very much. But where do you want to start, Jason?
Well, he's a proper bloke, isn't he, Super Leeds? He's a good bloke. I know. Us Yorkshire and Lancashire, we sort of have a bit of banter, but I don't think there's any animosity. I mean, I used to do a very good Thursday night. I used to do a Thursday night in Yates's in Bury. And some of the girls, oh my God, on a Thursday night coming out dressed like bunny girls and all that sort of thing, it was just absolutely incredible. Bury's a great place to go for a night out if you want to sort of avoid Manchester and the hustle and bustle of that. Bury it was anyway back in the day when I used to work it on a Thursday night. So that's a little bit of a plug for your county there. I think that's about as far as I'm going to be going on the compliments. But you're in Blackburn, aren't you? Not too far away.
No, Burnley, come on.
Burnley,
Come
sorry.
on, Burnley, don't. You're swearing at me. I didn't know that. That's why I just kept quiet there. I thought, right, I'll just give him his opportunity before I have to serve my notice. Yeah, I mean, right, where do you want to start? Should we start on with regards to some topics from last night's show?
If that's where you want to start, mate, it's you're the guest. Let's put us in a direction.
Yeah, we talked about. I mentioned it in the last show that we did, but when I was listening last night from that show when we last talked, I'm quite surprised that no one's got in contact with either yourselves or myself with regards to what I said in the UFO community, because it's quite. I mean, I don't know whether people 100% believe everything everybody else has to say. I mean, we live in a day and age where everyone's too centred on their own beliefs and what they've seen themselves. And I don't know, there's a lot of... Everyone argues, don't they, about what they've seen and what's real. And I mean, it's like what you said last night. I mean, if you've seen it, you've seen it, and it's you, and that's it. That's all should matter, is what you know and what you've seen, innit?
Yes, of course, and that's really all that matters to you. I mean, this is where I would think I was talking about. I mentioned it last night. I'm not in the game of convincing anybody else of what I've seen and what I've done. I will share experiences with certain people, but I won't. What I won't do is I don't expect people to take me at my word. I don't expect people to believe me. But you know, again, when people decide that they're not going to listen simply because it's a subject that they find perhaps they don't understand, it's quite sad, that really, isn't it? Because people are missing out on what could be a real voyage of discovery and some real personal growth as well. I think there's a lot of personal growth involved in when you're talking about subjects like that. Yeah,
I mean, mind expansion, thinking. I mean, it's just one of them. There's many trigger points, isn't there? Many trigger points that sets you on that path. But the UFO thing, I mean, with the TV and films and that, they've sort of normalised it, and people, I don't know, it's strange. It really is strange. I mean, people think you say UFO and they think little green men are flying around in them, you know. And it's like, I was listening to some I can't remember what interview that were the other day, but they said, if you look at the picture of the photos of UFOs in the 50s, they coincided with the fashion from the 50s. And when you go through the decades up until present day, you see the new pictures of these things, whatever they are, and they look like modern day film images. Do you know, they've stepped up along the years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely been a movement within Hollywood and the media industry in order to sort of give us some underlying subconscious idea of what we expect when we say UFO. And also, if you notice that there's a lot of, even in, I noticed that in Independence Day, if you watch Independence Day, there's a part of it where the guy who ends up killing the aliens at the end, that he's a crop duster and he's supposedly mad, and he's been telling people for years and years and years that he's been abducted by aliens. And yet there's a part in that show where in that film where there's some people in a what I can only describe as like a diner, who are still ridiculing him and saying, you know, they did experiments on him sexually and ridiculing him, while there's actually, you know, spacecraft above their head that have just invaded, and that's, for me, that's the way that people, the way that Hollywood and the media has sort of shaped this subject, so that if you're looking at as if you want to be somebody who's looking at it in an objective way and really trying to get to some answers, you come across ridicule before anything.
Do, Jason. Jason, you know what? I've just had that phone call.
Oh, right, okay. You've just had that phone call.
I'm sorry. I do apologise to everyone, but I'll be back as soon as possible.
All right. Well, thanks very much. Well, thanks very much. It was short and sweet.
Yeah, it was short and sweet. It's 6 mile there and 6 mile back.
Okay, so you're going to be about half an hour. So what we'll do is we'll pop this on hold. I'll just get a record out and stick a record on, and hopefully I'll be able to drag Andy into this conversation that we're having here. So,
yeah, no problem. Well, when I come back, I'll talk about some facts because there's many incidences that I've seen, and I've never been on my own. So, but we'll leave it there. I'll catch up with you as soon as I get back.
Rightio. Okay, then. Thanks very much for that, Carl. We'll see you very soon. Hopefully, drive safely as well. We don't want you to.
Yeah, it's a bit of snow up here.
Yes, there's loads of snow up here. Loads of snow today. It's been nuts. So you drive safely, and we'll see you. Just send me a text message when you're back, and I'll drag you back into the conversation. Okay, folks, that's live radio for you. That is live radio for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a record. I'm going to try and get Andy, and Andy has very kindly agreed that when we came to this juncture, that he would just come in and have a quick half-hour chat with me, just until we get Carl back. I'm sure you'll understand. He's got to go and get his daughter, who's had an operation today. She's been a bit upset about it, so we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Microwave Pizza 2 from Heath, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes, hopefully with Andy.
Got a 6-pack of beers in my fridge and I'm really thirsty. I got a big bag of crisps and a full box of Quality Street. I got some microwave pizza and some microwave fries. Got some microwave hot dogs that have burst down the side. Got a big bar of chocolate and a big fat bag of weed. I got some money in my pocket, case I need to go and get me some more. I hear the postman knocking, but I can't be asked to answer the door. Because I answered yesterday, and the postman said to me, "Will you take this package, cause there's no one in next door, you see?" And I said, "Yeah, I suppose I'll take it." Wankers. Some friends of mine are coming round to practice, cause we're starting a band. This is our first rehearsal, and I know Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah. So take your instruments in hand. We're starting off in G. Just let the music flow. Yeah, who knows, we could make history. Here we go, boys. Are you ready? Let's rock! 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Wow, that was, like, different, wasn't it? Tell you what, let's never do that ever again. Ever. Let's finish off with a farting competition. Loser skins up.
Welcome back to Raconteurs News. Thanks for that, Heath. Microwave Pizza 2. It's one of Heath's cracking ones, and I feature in the video as well. With, I've got to say, not a very fetching hairstyle. In fact, I've just got this oblong head. I look a little bit like Gromit off Wallace and Gromit. And Gromit? Wallace, I mean, not Wallace, not Gromit. Gromit's got plenty of hair. Which is unlike me. Right, Super Leeds has said in the chat room that... oh, dear me. Ah, right, okay. He ain't got Skype, he's got a phone number, and I really don't have the facility to be able to. I don't think, anyway, to be able to ring him on the phone. So I think that's probably going to be a bit of a no-go unless I can fashion something. So sorry about that, Super Leeds. Would have loved to have got you on, and perhaps a little bit later on when once we've got Carl back and Andy back. Well, in fact, we'll definitely get you on one day, Super Leeds. I'd love to have you on and have a chat with you about football, really. I mean, I've got this thing about football, haven't I, and how it's a reflection of society, and it reflects perfectly society. You've got the very few people that have got nothing, who've got everything at the very top, and the people who pay their hard-earned money, probably about maybe 10 or 20% of the salary to go and be able to sustain these people. Email me your number and I will ring you. Ah, okay. Well, I still don't think that's going to work because I'm not going to have any way of plugging you into the mixer and people being able to hear from you because I've only got one going in.
I think I might be able to get him on, Jace.
Go on then.
Let me try 685.
Okay, so this is live radio. We're going to try and see if we can get Super Leeds on. Andy seems to think he'll be able to do it. I mean, you've got some Skype credit, haven't you, Andy? So
yeah, I've got some Skype credit. I'll call him, but it might end up putting you on hold, and I'll have to call you back. But I'll get him back on.
Okay, live radio, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, add to group call. There we go. There we go. Should be ringing.
There we go. So there we go. It's Super Leeds has just informed us he went to school with Joe Cox. That should be an interesting.
Hello.
Super Leeds.
Hello. So, am I on there?
You are on air.
Live on air at the moment.
All right.
How you doing, brother?
Not bad. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're okay here. Obviously, we've had a bit of a.
I've just turned my sound down. Does that make a difference? I don't know how it works, but
it seems to be coming through okay here. Can you hear it okay, Andy?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you fine.
It says in the chat room you went to school with Joe Cox.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That sort of pisses on Chris Spinner's theories, doesn't it?
Yeah, she were a real person.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
She was the year above me, and a sister was the year below me. And I kind of went out with a sister, and my brother kind of went out with her.
All right.
All right. What did you make of that old air quotes murder thing? Because it all looked very suspicious, didn't it?
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
Bollocks, if you ask me.
Come on, get off the fence, man.
Which part?
I think it were bollocks. And I went to a funeral, and I went. You know where they did that, like where all media were and square or whatever, and I went there. Yeah.
So you went to those.
That media, sorry, Jace. That media thing in the square, it seemed like everybody was very jolly and happy, like they were on a fucking day.
Do you know when a sister did that and she was laughing and whatever?
Yeah.
I'd just been there then. I'd only just missed them. And trust me, if her sister had been fucking killed, she'd have been in bits.
Of course.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah.
But that seems to be a theme, doesn't it? When you get like these Manchester attacks, where the following week you've got somebody, two people on who've said, "Oh, we're going to get married in the memory of our daughter," and all this sort of thing, and they're all laughing and they're all jolly and everything. And like I said, I think I've made the remark.
It was very strange, when you actually know someone. I mean, I knew her from 11-year-old. I knew her family. I used to go around to their house. So I knew her mum and dad. And they only live up the road from me. And it were fucking weird. Excuse my French. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, of course you are. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that whole thing, that public, whatever it was, where they made the speeches, that reminded me, as soon as I saw it, it reminded me of that guy at Sandy Hook. What was his name? Robbie Parker.
Yeah. When you were laughing. When you were laughing before, and his family had just been slaughtered or whatever, and they were laughing his tits off. But obviously, I go on these websites or whatever, and people go, "Oh no, she wasn't a real person. She was an actor." And trust me, she was a real person. Or is. But yeah, they were, and it was same day that I think England were playing.
All right, football.
England were playing in World Cup or Euros. Yeah.
All right.
And then I kept getting text messages saying, "Have you been a fucking shooting in Bristol?" Which is where it was. I'm like, no. I'm like, what? Fucking shooting in Bristol? All right. Which is just on the outskirts of Leeds. I'm like, fucking give up. But yeah.
So which part of Leeds are you in, Super Leeds?
You've mentioned that you drove, or when you drive, you go somewhere near Emily Moor Mast, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm kind of more that way.
Right. So
I'm kind of Huddersfield side of Leeds,
yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Huddersfield, Dewsbury, that sort of way, yeah. Yeah, because I often go past. That what's the women's prison there? That's there. Newhall.
Yeah. Newhall. Yeah. Melanie Shaw were there, wasn't she?
Who was?
Melanie Shaw.
Oh, was she? Melanie Shaw was in Newhall, was she?
Yeah. Well, I contacted UK Column, and I said I'll go and see her because it's only a bloody short drive away.
Yeah.
And they were very funny with me.
Yeah, they are. The UK Column, for some reason.
Yeah, well.
We've got Vinny in the chat room. Is asking a question here, Super Leeds. He said,
all right.
Did you get any hassle off the tabloids about the fact that you knew Joe Cox from many years before, or have you had no contact with any news media over that?
No. They didn't want to know. Well, I mean, they didn't want to know whatsoever. I mean, like I say, it was, and I actually went to a funeral. You couldn't. When I say that, you couldn't actually go inside the funeral. Yeah. But I was outside the funeral, and the amount of coppers and spooks around was just unbelievable. There were helicopters above it. It were just unbelievable. And I got questioned. I'm like, what? Yeah.
What compelled you to go? If you don't mind me asking, what compelled you to go and stand outside? I understand that you knew her as a kid.
I went to school there. Yeah.
Right.
She was a friend.
And what was your mind? You know, when you went, what was your mindset when you went? Were you just going to go and see? Just go to the funeral.
Respects,
but did you find out that once you got there, that the atmosphere was different and there was a different sort of dynamic?
Apart maybe half a mile away from there, and yeah, as soon as I got out of the car, it were like every 10 yards there were a guy in black, spooks, I presume, and I got talking to the copper outside, and I said, "Who are these guys that are stood around?" And he said, "I don't know." Yeah, and I think there were probably 2 helicopters actually. So it was very strange.
Denny's also asking, were you invited, or did you just turn up off your?
I didn't actually. You couldn't go to the funeral, if you know what I mean. I was outside. Yeah.
It was like family.
I wasn't invited. No, I wasn't invited. No. But I saw a sister. Yeah.
Wow. It's another experience to get an eyewitness view from somebody who was actually there, who actually knew Joe Cox. So whenever Chris Spivey's saying Joe Cox does not exist or did not exist, then
there you go. I know, and I've read that, and I said, I went to school with her. She did. I knew her from 11-year-old, so she was a real person. She was really clever. She was a really nice girl, actually, and she went to Cambridge, and I think that's where she got at, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah. She went to Cambridge, and she wasn't having a good time about it.
So, what's your opinion now? Do you think that obviously we know she was a real person, but do you think that she's been given a new identity and moved away or done something, bearing in mind the reactions of the family?
I've no idea. I don't know what to do. What do they do? 'Cause I don't think she's dead.
No.
I've spoken to people who were there, and they said it's a load of bollocks. I mean, I went next day, and I saw his coat apparently that he left on floor and that, and it's bollocks if you ask me. But
so the coat was still there.
His coat was still there.
The following day, his coat was still there the following day, so it had not been taken for evidence or anything for any forensic testing.
There wasn't a fucking drop of, excuse my French again, there wasn't a drop of blood. Not a drop of blood.
Wow.
And I talked to some cops as well, and they didn't know what was going on. And supposedly there was an helicopter, apparently, that had landed, but you couldn't land a helicopter there. Well, in fact, I even know which funeral directors she went to, because my stepfather died around the same time, and it was the same ones.
Wow. Very, very interesting. Very interesting to hear from. It's going to be interesting whether when he comes back, whether the man from the other side of the Pennines is going to be able to come up with something just as interesting as that. He can't hear us, so we're all right.
Oh well, it's all right for me, Yorkshire, isn't it?
Wow. So what was it that event that woke you up, or was it what's your story?
No. My dad died when I was 29. Oh, yeah, 29. Mm-hmm. And then my mum took me to the doctors, and they said I was suffering from depression. And then they put me on, and I think I've said in the chat room before, they put me on these tablets. And it just took me up.
Yeah, well, I can speak from my personal experience on them. I'm somebody who's battled depression most of my adult life, Super Leeds, and I, up until a while back, I was taking those meds, and yeah, they pretty much turn you into a fucking zombie, don't they?
They turned me into an idiot. Well, not an idiot, but a maniac, shall we say? I don't know how to describe it, and then I just thought, right, why has this happened? Why is the NHS doing this to me? And then I didn't work for a while, and I didn't get any help from the system, shall we say? And then that kind of made me think, there's something not right here, isn't there?
Mm. So you thought, well, there's something not right here. What was the next thing? I mean, people do relate to when they first realise something's not right. And AD's got this phrase that the truth will set you free, but first of all, it'll really fucking piss you off.
And it did. It did.
And how did you cope with that?
Very difficult, to be honest with you. It is. It's very difficult because you realise you've been lied to all your life, haven't you?
Mm.
You know.
Was it that the fact that you got this depression because you'd lost a close family?
I wasn't depressed. I don't think.
Oh right, you were pretty down. You ended up taking these meds for a while.
I just lost my dad. I just lost my dad.
Was that what enabled you to delve into more what you were a bit suspicious about and kind of brought about?
I mean, I think 9/11 kind of woke a lot of people up, didn't it? Because it was so blatant, really.
Yeah.
And then I always thought 7/7. I always thought that no, they won't do anything in this country. They won't, and they did. And
that's the problem I had, is because the people at the time, the people I was talking to at the time in 2005 when 7/7 happened, I remember exactly where I were. Yeah. We got the Olympics the day before.
I do. I could tell you about that as well if you want.
Yeah, we got the Olympics the day before. We were in our caravan in Skeggy. And then the following day, that atrocity happened, and now all the people that I had half convinced that 9/11 was an inside job. As soon as 7/7 happened, they felt that it had to be Muslim terrorists, and that we wouldn't do that to our own people. Unlike
that is exactly what I thought as well. I thought they will not do that in this country. They won't pull a false flag like that in London. They were, but bloody well. And again, I live about a mile away from the ringleader, and well, that's quite interesting and all.
Yeah, I was truck driving the day.
He wasn't there. He wasn't there apparently.
No,
his missus was pregnant, and I think she was due to give birth, and. He wasn't there.
Which one are we talking about? We're not talking about Tanweer, are we? We're talking about
I was going to say
Mohammed Siddiqui Khan.
Is it Mohammed
Siddiqui Khan? Isn't it ironic that we've got a mayor of London at the moment called Siddiqui Khan?
Yeah, and he lives about a mile, or he lived about a mile away from me. Apparently, you try and talk to his missus, and you'll get a knock on your door.
And wasn't he was a teaching assistant as well, wasn't he? And he'd been given a tour of Westminster by an MP.
She was pregnant. And he didn't go. Apparently, he didn't. So I don't know what they've done with him. But And then the next day or the day after, I was working in Leeds, and that's when they arrested all these. I mean, when my boss went out to go to B&Q or something to get some bits, and he was gone for hours because they closed all roads off.
Yeah. There were a lot of stuff around that. I mean, we've all seen Ripple Effect 2, and I've had the pleasure of meeting Muad'Dib.
And again, that's what kind of woke me up to that. Have you seen the Hillsborough one? I thought you might be interested in that. Have you seen the Hillsborough one?
The Hillsborough Ripple Effect, yes, I have. Yeah, in fact, I got an advance copy. Tony Farrell sent me an advance copy. We did a.
What do you think about that?
Well, we did an interview with Tony Farrell on Hillsborough.
I know, I've heard it.
And although there are some...
But you know what I mean? It's your ground. You know, that's why I'm kind of interested in it.
Yeah, well, for me...
What's your thoughts on Hillsborough?
I think probably Tony Farrell's onto something. I don't think it was supposed to go off in the way that it did. I think it was supposed to be just some injuries. If you think about who benefited, it's ironic that it had happened. The same semi-final had gone off without incident the year before, and there were all the checkpoints in place. And then on this particular year, they gave.
Do you know the year before that? Leeds played there as well, and the same thing happened.
Yeah. They knew that it was. They knew that it was a point, and I think that they took from that they could perhaps engineer something and get all-seater stadiums.
Yeah.
It's.
I don't think they expected that much carnage.
No, I don't either. But you know what they put Duckenfield in charge, and he didn't even have any idea about football. I mean, he got Nottingham Forest's name wrong in the pre-match, interview, and he got all sorts of things. He had absolutely no idea, and I think he was set up and scapegoated.
It didn't. And I think they were either going to go for Leeds or they were going to go for Liverpool. I think that's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I think they were going to go for Liverpool.
Because
the reason why they went for Liverpool was Heysel.
Hooligan, if you know what I mean.
The reason why they went for Liverpool was Heysel. They could point to that and say, look, this has happened again.
That's what I mean. They went for them because of hooligans and same Leeds. They were either going to get one of us, and then that'd show them up. And then we need all-seater stadiums.
Mm. Yeah, it's very interesting to look back on it and just work out who benefits.
Thatcher won every battle apart from hooligans, really.
Mm. Yeah, she beat Miners down, didn't she?
Well, that's what I mean.
Mm.
She destroyed them, but she couldn't beat hooligans.
No. No.
Well, and also effectively, when she took on the Miners and effectively beat them into the ground or ground them into the floor, she also made it virtually not worthwhile joining a union of any description, because
that's what I mean.
I was
she did.
I was a union fan for many years, and even though what Thatcher did to the Miners made me think, is this really worthwhile? I kept soldiering at it because I believed it was a way for the working man to improve his lot.
Well, at least stick together, wasn't it? A collective. If you're in a collective, then you've got more power than when you're alone. And she broke that, didn't she?
That's right. I mean, my experience that put me off ever paying into a union again was the fuel dispute in 2000. I was a tanker driver during that dispute.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
And we got promised the earth by a government minister in our canteen on the Humber Bank there. And the minute we got out the gate, they broke every single promise that they made. Within
I understand that, didn't I? they stabbed him in the back, didn't they?
That's right, and
Yeah.
you know, I stood me ground to a little extent. I mean, my first delivery after the gates opened there, I was at the South Cave near Hull.
All right,
And
yeah.
they said two of us in each cab, which was a bit different to the normal. But we were all promised a blue light escort from the delivery point and back to the delivery until we felt safe to do it without that. The blue lights followed us out the gate, up to the motorway, and then turned around and pissed off.
Yeah.
I got to the delivery site and I pulled up there, and the manager.
But you got some grief, didn't you?
I said, "Whoa, hang on." I said, "I was promised blue lights. There's no blue lights.
Yeah.
I'm not delivering." And I just shut my cab, struck the engine up, and set off back for the Humber Bridge.
Did you?
And with that, I met a car coming in the other direction, the police Volvo. He must have been doing about 140 with his blues and twos on. And he was waving out the window as he saw me, and he was pointing, turn around, go back. And eventually got a phone call just before I got back to the bridge saying, "Yeah, you've got your blue lights there. Do your delivery, please."
Right.
I said to him, you know, this is not on. We got promised the earth.
Would you got like extra money for doing something like that? I mean,
No.
Is that how they enticed you, or?
We were told, you know, by the Transport and General representative that this put us in such a strong bargaining position now.
Right.
But then, pretty much as soon as we went back to work, Bill Morris got his seat in the House of Lords, and I think that was it. Game over. It wasn't worth paying the union subs anymore.
Right. Well, my girlfriend works for council, and I tell her, I say, what do you waste your money for, paying for union fees every month now? I mean, it's just like pointless. It's pointless because they've got no teeth, have they?
No, that's it.
They've got no teeth.
And the people that are running them have not got any bollocks.
Well, I mean, it's same as anything like that. I mean, what? They're probably Freemasons, are they? I don't know, but they'll be stealing money, won't they?
Oh yeah, I mean we've seen it with Carillion. This is where privatisation's gone.
I know you were talking about it last night.
I
mean that's shocking, isn't it? It's shocking that.
We've had
they give him a £2 billion contract, and what? The skin.
They've got no money. They've had profit warnings for the last 2 years, but nobody's watching. Nobody's listening. Greensmith, what is it? Is it Greensmith that's the one the one that fucked British Home Stores or M&S up or something? And it just
Green.
everywhere it goes, it turns to
Green.
shit. Philip
Green.
Green.
That was shocking. That really was shocking. But, and then he sold it for what? For £1? Sell it for £1 to some guy, and then this guy's getting all shit.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Asset strips it.
Yeah. Pensions. I mean, stealing people's pensions.
But you see, the thing with
and
Carillion...
He's sat on a yacht in Monaco.
Yeah. Of course, Yeah, of course, but it's a way. This Carillion thing, it's a classic way of taking public money and putting it in private pockets.
Public to private, aren't they?
Yeah, too many hands in too many pockets. That's the way it is.
I've had experience with that as well. Believe it or not. I mean, Stepdad used to work for Lord Ashcroft.
There's a name to plunge you with.
Yeah, Michael Ashcroft. No, yes. Ex-chairman of Conservative Party, I believe. My word. Yeah, I'll tell you a few things about him, but probably best not doing it on air.
Discretion is the better part of valor.
I'd get sued. So, yeah. We're probably best not talking about that, but yeah.
Well, everybody who's listening...
They're all at it out there.
Of course they are. Everybody who's listening, you're listening to Raconteurs News. I'm Jason Holmes. At the moment, we've got our guest. It's Super Leeds from the chat room, regular listener, and we're waiting on our principal guest who was here, who was due on, who's had to rush off to do an errand, pick his daughter up from hospital. He'll be back as soon as possible, and we'll probably have a four-way conversation then. Because I think things are going all right. What do you think, Mr. Super Leeds?
All right, mate. Yeah. Would it be all right if I just go quiet for a minute? Because I just need to have a cigarette.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, of course.
All right.
Yeah, me and Andy will continue to chew over it.
I'll just put my phone down and then I'll. Yeah.
Okay, no worries, mate.
Come back to us when you're done, mate.
I'll pick it up. Yeah.
We've got some stuff in the chat room. We've got somebody, Anon 9496, I don't know who that is, but hello to you. Talking about Margaret Thatcher, saying, pity the bitch went for a piss in Brighton. Well, yes, I think there's probably a lot of people that would agree with you on that. And then again, bitch. Come on, for fuck's sake, they have teeth and big hairy balls. I don't know who that is again. 9496.
All right, mate, I'm back.
Arscroft.
Sorry about that.
No problem. No problem, Super Leeds. It's great to have you on the line, talking to us. Filled in admirably. Decided to volunteer to come on and fill the void that has been left by our Lancastrian friend.
How much do I get paid?
You get paid in gratitude.
A season ticket at Hillsborough, do I?
The deal is the guests get paid 50% of what the presenters do, so...
Which is nothing. 50% of nothing is nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want a season ticket at Sheffield Wednesday anyway. I don't think I'm going on Saturday either. I'm that pissed off with it.
Playing tonight, are they playing tonight?
Yeah, they're playing tonight in FA Cup. It's a replay against Carlisle. So, but I'm not going to that. I'm not going to sit out in this. It's been fucking snowing. I'm freezing out.
I'm right in it there, aren't I?
I've not been able to feel
right in it there, aren't I?
I've not been able to feel my feet all day. I'm not going to go and sit out in fucking cold. I'll sit here and talk.
Why are you going?
Talk to you, chaps.
Why are you going?
It's too cold. It's freezing. It's been snowing here. I live on I on a hill, and it's been snowing. And I'm on
night when you were doing show, and I thought, well, I'm sure Sheffield Wednesday. We've got a replay. I thought, well, he's probably going to that.
No, I'm not going. I'm not going to that. I'm not going to go and sit out in it when it's too cold. I'm not even going to go on Saturday. I'm going to watch it on TV.
Oh, you had a season ticket?
I do. I've got 2 season tickets, but they're that cheap that it doesn't really matter because I've got I get them. I'm disabled. I get them at a concession, and I get 2 for the price of 1. So I get 2. So it costs me
because of your health.
Yeah, my heart condition, my mobility, all that sort of thing. So I get 2 for the price of 1, and I get it on concession. So 2 season tickets that I've got at the moment in the South Stand, which are the premium ones, would normally have cost me around about 900 quid each. So we're talking 1,800 quid. Whereas I've paid 360. 398 this year for 2.
Instead of 1,900 quid, you've paid 300 and odd.
390 quid for 2.
Who's got the other one then? Did you take?
Me dad. Me and my dad. We split it between us. Yeah.
All right.
So, and when he's not going, I'll take a mate, and when I'm not going, he'll take one.
It's probably worth 370 quid you've ever spent there.
It has been this last couple of years. You know that, don't you?
You could have bought a season ticket at Leeds for that.
Now you're on football. Dinny's wanting to know. Do you know about FC St. Pauli, which is his local club that he supports in Hamburg?
St. Pauli, I've heard of them, yeah.
I've not heard of them.
No, when we get chatting with Dinny, he tells some fantastic stories about what he gets up to when he's at St. Pauli.
Right, okay.
And
Well,
when he's there,
it's a bigger
the only
club.
time-
It's a bigger
the only
club than
time you
Sheffield
ever see
Wednesday, isn't it?
Hitch smiling.
Sorry, mate.
Oh, listen, I'll let you off simply because you're a Leeds fan and you've been a great donator to the Jeremy Bamber campaign, which is something that's
Oh,
close
yes.
to my
You want
heart.
to talk about Mr. Bamber?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was completely down to you, really. Well, no, I remember it because I'm a similar age to you. I'm 43. You're 47?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember that case. And I always thought there was something dodgy about that. And then when I listened, like, well, it's probably about 6 months ago, and it was on YouTube when I. And then I went through all your back catalogue, and I came across that one, the Bamber case, and it kind of reignited my interest in it.
Mm.
And then I went on their website, and I wanted a printer. And I'd won a few quid on football, and I thought, sod it, buy him a printer.
Absolutely brilliant. And I know you've heard the emails that I've had from them that I've read out, and they total gratitude for doing that. And you make us look good.
And then you played Marching On Together, didn't you?
I did.
To be fair, I think
Didn't you notice?
It takes a lot of doing. It takes a lot of doing that. I'd suggest.
Didn't you notice that when you said, will you play that, Jason said, I'll not only do that, I'll do one better. And right at the end, he faded it into Heath's track, Boy from Sheffield.
I like that song, though.
It's good, isn't it? I mean, Heath's stuff's amazing.
Sometimes I wake up on the morning going, I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. I'm thinking, fucking hell, where have I got that from? And yeah, excuse my French again. But yeah, it's a good track, that is. How is it that people like that don't make it in the music industry?
It's beyond me. It's because it's all fixed, isn't it? It's all been.
That's what I mean.
It's
because he's not a bloody Freemason, or he's not a puppet, is he?
But to be fair, I think with Heath, it's just that he just loves doing it, and that's all that matters to him. He don't want. I don't think he's even got a desire to be famous and to have recording contracts. I think he's just got that love for it.
But the people that actually love doing it. I mean, I know people who are extremely talented, but they don't get anywhere. I mean, they just don't get anywhere.
I mean, I was a fan of UB40 from back in the day, and if anybody had ever said to me, "Oh, I've got this cover of a UB40 song, you've got to listen to it," I'd have cringed a bit. But I've heard pretty much all the other tracks that Jason's ever played, but I'd never heard that one. Jason was looking for it the other week and couldn't find it. And when he played it last night, it blew me away. If you're listening tonight, Heath, that was amazing, dude. As is all the other stuff.
Did you see, I think it was New Year's Eve, was it Beckham, in Caribbean somewhere? Was it Miami? I don't know. It was over that way anyway. And UB40 were playing, New Year's Eve.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Nice little gig.
Well, listen, our guest from over the Pennines is back in his seat and raring to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the break for the top of the hour right about now. It's I'm doing something a little bit different, something I've never done before, and I thought that this might make a bit of a change. So instead of playing a record, I'm going to play a bit of George Carlin. I thought that might might be, just something that people might enjoy. It's 9 minutes and 1 second long. We're going to have Karl dragged back in. We're going to keep Super Leads on as well, but we'll get Karl in back on
you
to
want me
the
to
show.
stay on the phone then? Yeah.
Yes, if you want. Proper radio from Yorkshire.
It's 7 p.m. and it's Tuesday night. I got my laptop on and I feel alright. I got a few joints rolled and my munchies made. Got my headphones on and I close the door, don't disturb me. It's time to stand up tall and say some things about the shitty world we're living in with the boys at Raconteurs News. Sur Raconteurs, Sur Raconteurs, Sur Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News. Oh yeah.
Hello, this is Heath Dweft, and I listen to
Raconteurs News.
And good evening, welcome to Raconteurs News this Tuesday night. It's the 16th of January 2018. It's a Tuesday night, and we've got a show lined up for you. I don't know where, it's probably going to be a bit fractured and a bit fractious, but we've certainly got a show lined up for you this evening. Hope you've had a great day. You can listen to me. My name's Jason Holmes. You can listen to me on Spreaker.com and on RaconteursNews.com every Monday and Tuesday, 7 till 9 o'clock, and bringing you some great guests. We've had some brilliant guests in the last few weeks. Andrew Johnson was on. We've also had Genuine Royalty here on Raconteurs News as well, so that's been awesome. So we're moving forward, onwards and upwards, and it looks like already 2018 is going to be a bumper year for us here at Raconteurs News. So your continued support is really, really appreciated. And the support I'm talking about is listening to us and some of the causes that we put together, that we highlight. The support that we've had from Raconteurs News listeners has been absolutely incredible. And speaking of which, I was contacted last week by a Raconteurs News listener. He wanted some advice, as well as wanted to sort of vent his spleen, and we had a good chat for I think about an hour. I think we last Friday on the phone, and we're pretty much on the same page as far as anything else goes. But we've got him on a bit of a tight schedule as well, because any minute now he's expecting a call from his wife regarding his daughter, who's been having an operation in hospital this afternoon, and he's going to have to rush off and pick her up. But he should be only gone for about half an hour. And in the event of that, I think I'll probably drag Andy in just to keep the continuity of the show going. So welcome to Raconteurs News, and I'd like to welcome our guest this evening. Good evening. Super Leeds is not going to be very happy. Another Lancastrian, another one from Lancashire, from over near Blackburn. Good evening to you, Karl Davies. How are you doing, my friend?
How you doing? Pleased to meet everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good.
Yeah, Mr. Super Leeds. Just to boot things off. There's been a bit of animosity about us over in Lancashire, so just Super Leeds. Can we just keep a lid on it tonight for me, will you? Just for one night, eh? We don't want to be putting each other in each other's place. Let's just keep it, constitutional. Thank you very much. But where do you want to start, Jason?
Well, he's a proper bloke, isn't he, Super Leeds? He's a good bloke. I know. Us Yorkshire and Lancashire, we sort of have a bit of banter, but I don't think there's any animosity. I mean, I used to do a very good Thursday night. I used to do a Thursday night in Yates's in Bury. And some of the girls, oh my God, on a Thursday night coming out dressed like bunny girls and all that sort of thing, it was just absolutely incredible. Bury's a great place to go for a night out if you want to sort of avoid Manchester and the hustle and bustle of that. Bury it was anyway back in the day when I used to work it on a Thursday night. So that's a little bit of a plug for your county there. I think that's about as far as I'm going to be going on the compliments. But you're in Blackburn, aren't you? Not too far away.
No, Burnley, come on.
Burnley,
come
sorry.
On, Burnley, don't. You're swearing at me. I didn't know that. That's why I just kept quiet there. I thought, well, I'll just give him his opportunity before I have to serve my notice. Yeah, I mean, right, where do you want to start? Should we start on with regards to some topics from last night's show?
If that's where you want to start, mate, it's you're the guest. Let's put us in a direction.
Yeah, we talked about. I mentioned it in the last show that we did, but when I was listening last night from that show when we last talked, I'm quite surprised that no one's got in contact with either yourselves or myself with regards to what I said in the UFO community, because it's quite. I don't know whether people 100% believe everything everybody else has to say. I mean, we live in a day and age where everyone's too centred on their own beliefs and what they've seen themselves, and I don't know. There's a lot of. Everyone argues, don't they, about what they've seen and what's real. And I mean, it's like what you said last night. I mean, if you've seen it, you've seen it, and it's you, and that's it. That's all should matter is what you know and what you've seen, innit?
Yes, of course, and that's really all that matters to you. I mean, this is where I would think I was talking about. I mentioned it last night. I'm not in the game of convincing anybody else of what I've seen and what I've done. I will share experiences with certain people, but I won't. What I won't do is I don't expect people to take me at my word. I don't expect people to believe me. But you know, again. When people decide that they're not going to listen simply because it's a subject that they find perhaps they don't understand, it's quite sad, that really, isn't it? Because people are missing out on what could be a real voyage of discovery and some real personal growth as well. I think there's a lot of personal growth involved in when you're talking about subjects like that.
Yeah, I mean, mind expansion, thinking. I mean, it's just one of them. There's many trigger points, isn't there? Many trigger points that sets you on that path. But the UFO thing, I mean, with the TV and films and that, they've sort of normalised it, and people, I don't know, it's strange. It really is strange. I mean, people think you say UFO and they think little green men are flying around in them, you know. And it's like, I was listening to I can't remember what interview that were the other day, but they said, if you look at the picture of the photos of UFOs in the 50s, they coincided with the fashion from the 50s. And when you go through the decades up until present day, you see the new pictures of these things, whatever they are, and they look like modern day film images. Do you know, they've stepped up along the years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely been a movement within Hollywood and the media industry in order to sort of give us some underlying subconscious idea of what we expect when we say UFO. And also, if you notice that there's a lot of, even in, I noticed that in Independence Day, if you watch Independence Day, there's a part of it where the guy who ends up killing the aliens at the end, that he's a crop duster and he's supposedly mad, and he's been telling people for years and years and years that he's been abducted by aliens. And yet there's a part in that show where in that film where there's some people in what I can only describe as like a diner who are still ridiculing him and saying, they did experiments on him sexually and ridiculing him, while there's actually spacecraft above their head that have just invaded, and that's, for me, that's the way that people, the way that Hollywood and the media has sort of shaped this subject, so that if you're looking at as if you want to be somebody who's looking at it in an objective way and really trying to get to some answers, you come across ridicule before anything. Jason, you know what? I've just had that phone call. Oh, right, okay. You've just had that phone call.
I'm sorry. I do apologise to everyone, but I'll be back as soon as possible.
All right. Well, thanks very much. Thanks very much. It was short and sweet.
Yeah, it was short and sweet.
So he's not with us anymore, but we've still got his work, and we've still got Raconteurs news. Don't forget, next Monday we've got Larry Warren on. Andy's going to be co-hosting with me again on Monday when we discuss one of his favouriteest issues and Larry Warren. So that's going to be a pretty easy night for me, I think. So always appreciated. And he's joined me again tonight. He's helping me out because we had a few problems with our first guest, Karl Davies. He's back now, our friend. But Andy, how are you doing, mate? All right. Did you have a good? Did you have a good piss, shit, or whatever?
Absolutely brilliant, mate. I mean, as far as Larry goes, having a conversation with Larry is like rolling a stone downhill, mate. All you got to do is stop him when he gets to the bottom.
Brilliant. And we've got two guests on the phone at the moment. We've got Karl Davies. He's back from his mercy mission to pick up his daughter from the clutches, the evil clutches of Blackburn NHS Trust, who were holding her after an operation. I hope she's okay. How are things, Karl?
Yeah, she's fine. Well, that's the thing. The prognosis is fine, but they're a bit of an hiccup. I mean, well, the result is fine. She's okay. So
okay.
That's good.
That's the main thing. And of course, we're joined again from somebody else who bailed us out in the first hour. From the other side of the Pennines, and this could be quite interesting when we've got Karl against Super Leeds. But Super Leeds joins us back on the line. We've got a couple of listeners. It's really quite an interesting dynamic. How are you doing, Super Leeds? All right, mate?
I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad. How's Karl? Is his daughter all right, yeah?
Yeah, so, mate. Cheers, mate. Yeah.
Nice to speak to you, mate.
Yeah, nice to speak to you, mate. Well, you know, I've seen this banter. I've never in chat room like, but I've heard plenty on your house. So I thought I better get first kicking when we started tonight.
Well, fair dues, mate. Fair dues. But end of the day, as long as your daughter's all right, that's what matters, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That Blackburn Hospital over there is absolutely. Oh well, she's just been. My wife's just been telling me what it's like, and basically, it's a conveyor belt. My daughter's 16. She's been in for like an endoscopy and a toposcopy. And basically, they went in and they said, right, you have to leave her now on her own. My wife went, hold on a minute, what do you mean I have to leave her on her own? Yeah, well, you have to leave her on her own, and then we'll phone you when you can pick her up. And it's like, what? And my wife's a mental health nurse. So my wife's like, well, hold on a minute. No. And basically, they prep you, get you all sat in a waiting room, and that you're all sat there waiting to go into theatre in this waiting room, all gowned up, and basically you're in. They drag you out on a bed, give you some toast and a brew, and then you're off. And I'm like,
and a brew.
What is that?
Well, I know. It's bad, isn't it?
Yorkshire Tea, I trust.
Where's the duty of care, man? And this is what I was saying to her. These people, these professionals, where's the duty? They don't give a shit, do they? Just pay packets, man. Pay packets. That's what they are.
I think
it's like you mentioned. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Sorry, Leeds. There's a lot of good people in that system who it's their life's work to care for people and look after them and heal them. But unfortunately, they're just constrained so much by the system, they end up not doing it.
My sister's a midwife, and I talked to her about it, and it's just like, don't talk about it. Don't mention it, And, well, Karl says his missus is a mental health nurse.
Yeah, she's mental health nurse. Yeah, she does some right. She
must have. No, if you know what I mean.
No, I mean, she knows. She knows well, that's why she hates it, because at the minute she wants to leave nursing. That's what she wants. She actually wants to leave nursing because she knows.
Yeah,
These
my
drugs are not doing
girlfriend.
any good.
My girlfriend works at council, yeah, and she looks after old people that, like in a nursing home, at council, and she wants to leave. She's fed up of it. She says it's terrible.
Yeah, they're not. Well, I don't know. I mean, everybody. My wife cares a lot. You know what I mean? She actually gives a shit.
Well, my girlfriend does, and my sister does. I think the people that actually work in those professions, they do, but what can they do? You know.
Well, I think we exposed this. Whether did that
my girlfriend bothered about a pension, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course she is, and that's the constraints that we're under.
Everybody's got to survive, but I mean, we heard first time from Valerie Warwick a while back. Valerie was an oncology nurse in the States, which is a very well-paid job. It's they're not far behind what our GPs earn over here. And once she started learning about vitamin C and various things that actually did some good for cancer, rather than burn it, poison it, or cut it out, she got the reaction, "Oh, you're one of those, are you?" And she knew straight away she was up against it. She's left, and now she helps people out off her own back.
I mean that guy. I don't know. Nobel Prize isn't the same what it used to be, but that guy won it for that, did he not?
Royal Raymond Rife, you're talking about?
No, it was Paulie. Was it Paulie with vitamin C? Rife.
Oh yeah.
Rife was the frequency, was he?
Yeah, Linus Pauling won it with the vitamin C. Yeah,
vitamin C, high dose vitamin C, and not all. But yeah, I can never pronounce his name. Is it Royal Raymond Rife or something?
That's right. Yeah, he held a dinner.
He won it twice. He won it twice, though, didn't he?
I'm not sure about that. I know he held a dinner
to
celebrate the end of all disease in the late 20s.
I think he's the only person to win it twice in two different categories. I mean, fucking hell.
But the Nobel Prizes are a little bit... when you think about a Nobel Prize, it's a bit tainted anyway, because Barack Obama won the Prize for Peace and didn't even oversee a single day of peace in his presidency in 8 years.
No, only president, only, I think. Only president that's not had a day of peace during his presidency.
You living near Emily Moor, Super Leeds, and Karl living in Burnley, where he lives. What sort of... Karl were telling us beforehand about some UFO activity that happens. He was telling me anyway, earlier on, about some UFO activity that happens. Does anything happen up near you, and have you had any sort of similar experiences, I wonder?
Well, you see, I've started to think, and I put it in chat room earlier, just because it's unidentified, it doesn't mean to say that it's alien, does it?
No.
It could be a US black op, How do we know what planes they've got?
Tell us about your experiences, Karl, because you were telling me earlier on about him, about what goes on in and around you on a fairly regular basis. I think you were saying, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I'll give you the examples. What's happened? I'll give you my experience and the various experiences of what I've had. My mate broke his leg. We were at Royal Blackburn Hospital. Took him outside for a fag. There were 7 of us stood there. And we turned around, there was a kestrel hovering in the sky. And beyond the kestrel, if you looked, there was this, and it looked like it had like a cloak on it, but you could definitely see that there was like this ball, like a transparent ball, just flying through the sky. And we all stood there and we all seen it. Everyone. There must have been about 10 of us stood there. So that's one experience. I was travelling to Scotland at about 4:30 in the morning, me and my work colleague at side of me. And it looked like a star, and it come along the horizon like a light, like you see a a plane in the sky with headlight on. And then I thought, oh yeah, that's low. And it just stopped. And it went straight up in the sky. Straight up, like a rocket. I've been led in my bed at my house, looking over the hills towards Leeds from Burnley, over the moors, towards Keighley, towards Keighley and Todmorden and all that lot there. And like I've seen like 15 small lights get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then all start flying off in 2s and 3s. With that big bright light you mate were on about the last night. We've been shining lights and lasers at that, and that's like come right towards us. We've had lights shone back at us. We've had things like disappear and come back. Honestly, it's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. So it's not just one standard, simple, same generic thing. I've had various experiences of various things over various period of time.
But then, Carl, do you think that it's alien then, or do you think that it's possibly just, because it's unidentified? Do you think it's? Of course it is. Yeah, you can't. It's like, do you think it's just the government plane that we don't know about?
Well, I were in military for 6 years, and my job was shooting down aircraft. Right. I were on aircraft air defence.
All right.
On Rapier missiles for 6 years.
All right.
So
okay.
what I learnt about and what we're up in the sky, so what I know now doesn't correspond to what you get taught about even in the military.
So when you were working, did anything come across your path, so to speak, that was unidentified then?
Not when I were in military, no. No.
So that never occurred?
Not when I were in military, no. Never when I was there, no. But we never. It was like we're always in camp. You know what I mean? We never out actually using the tech. Searching around skies, doing his own thing. They'd never allow that, would they?
But then, was there any kind of Russian planes then? Shall we say that?
Well, that's
maybe caused you bother.
Yeah, but it's like international airspace, isn't there? And it depends where you are up globe. Like if you're in Canada, there's people.
So you never need to have a threat that you thought, we don't know what this is, we need to shoot it down.
No.
And how long was that for then?
6 years.
Bloody hell. So, that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying at UFO community, and in these, maybe after this tonight, if people do listen and pay attention to what I say, they might want to know, because there's one incident, and I've not mentioned it before, and I'm sorry, I do apologise, but I'm not prepared to mention it tonight because I do. It's one of these. It was as serious as questioning my own sanity and actually questioning myself still today whether I actually seen it or whether it was some sort of implant. But I know what I seen.
I've seen one. I've seen one.
I know what happened.
And I didn't know what it was.
But there's
lots of strange. My brother was with me at the same time, so we both saw it and we were like, "What the fuck's that?"
Yeah.
No.
But it's like this. These, if there was some, it won't take a lot of investment at all. All it'd take is a gathering of some people with a will to find out what these are. Because if they actually come to Burnley, right?
Why would you want to go to Burnley, though? You know what I mean? If you're an alien. No, serious, mate. Oh, but seriously, why would you go to Burnley?
Landed here to start with.
That's right. Why would you go to Burnley? You wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't.
No.
You wouldn't.
No. Well,
you go to Kensington or somewhere like that, wouldn't you?
You've got to remember, Super Leeds, there's a lot of land around there. There's a lot of wasteland around there. They're not going to exactly want to go like strolling down Leeds Main Street,
But if you've travelled bloody millions of miles from, I don't know, wherever, you're not going to land in Burnley, are you? Come on. Why don't you go to Monaco? Why don't you go to Monaco or Ibiza? Go to Ibiza.
If you have a look on, I think it's online at Lancashire Evening Telegraph last week, there were a big green light in sky over Colne.
Right.
Apparently, that's. But if it were over the lighting, over the sky in Colne, over the moors, that's from. If you should have been able to see it from your side.
We'll probably send it to you, to be honest with you.
Because we're Leeds Bradford Airport is. We're in flight path, or direct. You can see them taking off.
All right. Yeah.
Carl, I'd like to ask you a question because my last experience was not that far from you. It was actually in Lytham St Anne's.
Right.
And I went to a conference there called Probe Conference. It's not just a UFO conference. It's about all kinds of woo-woo stuff, paranormal and all that sort of stuff. But we were stood outside, I think it was tea break, and as we went outside, somebody went, "Oh, what's that up there?" And for a moment, it looked a bit like the planet Venus in the morning sky, but it was much, much too big.
Yeah.
And there was about 100 of us stood outside trying to get a decent picture of it for about 45 minutes. And we're all like, "What's that?" We don't know. And first person I asked was Steve Mira, because I know Steve will debunk anything if he can. And he went, "Yeah, it's just a balloon off the pleasure beach, isn't it?"
Is it? Who's that, Steve? Well, I'll tell you what it is. I'll
But
tell you what it is. Just before you go on,
Steve,
because go on.
after it had been there 45 minutes and it had not moved, and there were planes flying past it in and out of Blackpool Airport, I said, "You still think it's a weather balloon?" He went, "Nah."
Yeah.
But nobody knows what it was. But although there was the best part of 100 people stood watching it, what you were saying about people coming together to investigate,
Yeah.
I asked Gary Heseltine if he'd do an investigation of this, and he said, "You get me some witness reports and I'll do a proper investigation." And I contacted everybody I knew at the time and asked them to send in a report and get all their friends too. And do you know how many reports Gary got in total? He got he got 7, but 2 of them were from me and my other half. So it was a piss poor response.
Yeah.
And they're people who are open-minded, who go out looking for these things and talk about their experiences to their friends at these conferences.
I mean, I was actually thinking about starting a thing on Facebook and starting a blog online, but it's. I would love nothing more than just to spend all my time doing this sort of thing. But I've got to earn a crust. I've got a family to feed. If I didn't have a family to feed and to provide for, this is what I'm all about. I mean, what's not secret, isn't it? You know what I mean? What's not a secret?
Well,
I mean, every aspect of your life's a secret. All the shit in your food's a secret. The shit in your water's a secret. The shit in the air's a secret. Everything's a secret.
The reason I wanted to bring that up with you, Carl, was because it was a particular type of object that we saw in the sky that I've seen photographed quite a few places, and it essentially looked like a bloody great big white beach ball.
Yeah,
But
it's like,
where the planes were passing close to it, it appeared to be around about somewhere between half a mile and a mile away, but it appeared to be about the same width as the width of an Airbus fuselage. So it was quite large.
Yeah.
But as people got photographs of it, it appeared to be changing shape slightly. So I wondered if you'd ever seen anything like a white beach ball floating across the sky near you, because this thing, we just noticed it there. It sat there for a good 45 minutes, and then it appeared to blink out. I don't know whether it shot off ultra fast or just vanished. You ever see anything like that? Because just up the road from Lytham, there is a British aerospace facility at Fylde, isn't there?
Yeah,
and as far as I'm aware, they do run experimental aircraft out of there.
Well, this Fylde there, and we've also got BAE systems down at Samlesbury, Preston, haven't we?
Right.
Yeah.
We've got
BAE systems. I used to work in
Preston.
engineering, and there's a lot around there, but I don't know. They're known about, aren't they? I think they'd do it somewhere, where that's not known.
Well, as my good lady said, what would be more fun if you designed these secret experimental aircraft to go and float one outside a UFO conference for an hour while they all stand and gawp at it, and you can be watching them doing it? It's going to be hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're taking the piss, then, aren't they? Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they're able to do that with an enlarged drone with some super fabric material on there that could mirror, give it some sort of cloak that they could move up and down in all directions super fast, super light. Like the German rocket science engineer's apprentice, I can't remember, what is she called? Rose and she was the ex-Nazi rocket scientist assistant, but it's just a great exception.
Oh, Carol Rosin.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Carol Rosin, that's the one, isn't it? Yeah. Well, is it all going to be part of that? I'm sort of waiting for them to play that card myself as well at some point.
I'd say they clearly tried to do something like that. I'd say the Nazis, and why we think that.
The government today, like the fake and alien invasion, like that, this tech or a load of drones or some sort of holographic technology. I don't know.
No, but what I'm saying is, just because it's an unidentified object, it doesn't mean to say that it's alien, does it?
No. But I'm just talking in terms that the general public.
So if Nazis started doing that, and then they moved to America and carried on doing that, which they clearly did.
Project Paperclip.
They reckon that, 50 years ahead of what we know. So what have they got now? What have they got now?
They've probably got super dolphins with laser beams on their heads, and that sort of thing.
You know what I mean? We don't know, do we? We're just going. It's unidentified. I don't know what the fuck it is. It looks like a dolphin. I don't fucking know.
Well, Dinny's question to all of us, I think, now, but he's specifically addressed it to Karl, is, okay, so does aliens. What will it change?
I never said they were aliens. I mean, what's up there? I don't agree with that because I'm a bit of a flat earther myself, so that's way beyond my jurisdiction. Is that? System entirely.
So how can you believe in UFOs if you're a flat earther?
Because this is a big conundrum for me, isn't it? I know that there's something flying around in the sky. I've seen them and experienced them, but I understand.
All right, yeah.
I also observe myself living on a plane.
Kind of contradicting myself there, aren't I? Yeah. Because it could still be a government bloody aircraft, but it's not alien.
It could be an interdimensional thing. It could be time travellers, future humans coming back and having a look and observing us.
You believe that, Jason? Come on. You believe that?
I don't believe it. I'm just putting it forward what it could be.
Oh no. Fair dues.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not. I've always been on this show. I've always been.
I started thinking Earth's flat.
All I've ever done on this show is I've tried to be objective. I've tried to be give people a fair shout and a fair deal on whatever they want to say. Because
I think you've done very well with it as well, because you get some shit, don't you? But I'm starting to think that Earth's flat. And then whatever that involves.
But I don't even like the term now, because what's tied into that term. I mean, they're trying to make it look so stupid now, so we'll have to start coming up with a new term, because flat, I mean, it's not necessarily flat. You can say it's undulating, can't you? But on a big scheme of things, on the size of things, it would seem flat, but it's definitely not a ball. Definitely.
I can remember Jason said on an earlier programme, that's why I remembered he goes up near Emily Moore, and I go to get some hay from up there. I've got a couple of rabbits, so I got to buy some hay. And you can see virtually 360 degrees for 50 miles, maybe.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah. I mean, you can see Blackpool
you
Tower
can't
from
see.
Burnley.
You can't see. Just, it's flat.
Yeah. Ish.
You remember saying that, Jess?
Yeah, I certainly do, because on a number of occasions I do go over there quite regularly when I go to sort of Brighouse or
You must know what I mean
sometimes.
then, don't you? And you can literally see
You
360 degrees for 50 miles.
If what I think
I mean, that's why
you
they
should
put Emily
trust your
Moore.
own instinct.
That's why they put Emily Moore Mass there, because it's bloody Ice Point in Yorkshire.
Yeah. And you can see as far as the eye can see, as far as the eye can see is a lot further than you would be on a ball. Like you said, there's 50, 60 miles. I can see Drax Power Station at Selby.
I was going to say there's a power station near Castleford, and you can see that. How far away is that?
Yeah, but the one I can see, the one at Selby, I can see Drax at Selby. I mean, that's miles and miles away.
Listen, if it wasn't, what would be the fucking point in having lighthouses?
Exactly.
What would be the point in having them?
Well, you don't reach the lighthouse until you get near the shore, do you?
Well, no, yeah, you can see. I mean, you can see the sea. You can see one in Holland. It's estimated from 250 kilometres away. 250 kilometres away.
Bloody hell.
250 kilometres away. You can see the lighthouse.
For me,
what about that? Go on, mate.
I'm just going to say, for me, if the Earth's flat, right? What people always say, what's the point? What would be the point of the lie? And then you get these people that are perhaps into religious scripture and things like that, and they think that it's something to do with that to get us away from so that we don't find out what we are. But for me, it's so that all the other lies are so much easier, because what you do is all your instincts, you learn to, because your instincts say you're on something that's not moving, right?
Isn't it? Don't you think? Does it feel like, right, when you're travelling at 30 miles an hour and you stick your head out of the window of the car, right? You know about it, don't you?
Yeah, of course you do.
So when you step out of your door, does it feel like you're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour?
And also, we're supposed to be travelling through space at something like 110,000 miles an hour. And if we're doing that, why are the constellations and the stars, why do they always appear in the same place? Because if we're travelling at such a high speed through the universe, surely the stars should be different every single night. Or are we all just moving at the same speed? It's just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous assertion.
Can it? Last summer, I sat outside every night and I looked up and I went, no, we're not moving. We're not moving. We're not moving. Either that or every other star's moving at exactly the same rate as us, and how can that be true?
That's the question I've always asked about this spinning ball, spinning round the planet, spinning round the star, and then we're going round galactic central point. How come all the stars are in the same place every night?
So is everything moving at exactly the same rate? All you've got to do is look at Polaris. Look at Polaris. It never fucking moves.
But also,
how is that possible?
What I was going to say to Karl, he'd been saying perhaps we need some sort of new terminology. I have spotted something that's appeared the last few weeks in my sphere of what I notice, and people have started posting this post-quote from Tesla. I've never seen it before, that the Earth is not a planet, it is a realm.
Oh, realm. I thought it said plane.
Yeah, it's a realm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's why places were called kingdoms in a realm. Yeah, everywhere.
Another thing
kingdom, weren't
is,
it?
why on earth are you not taught about Tesla at school?
Yeah.
Then when you know with that.
I mean, why? I'm quite a clever guy. I went to a decent school and that. I didn't learn about Tesla till I was in my 30s.
Yeah. No, it's all kept very hush-hush, isn't it?
Einstein.
Yeah, but he had lots of theories, see, and they love the theories.
Well,
they don't like facts. They love theories.
That's what pisses me off. It's a theory. It's not a law. It's a theory.
A theory religion, or a religion theory. That's what it is. It's a belief system, isn't it? It's a belief system. Believing that people know about.
What about Stephen Hawking? Jesus Christ. What a fucking joke he is. Eh?
How's he alive? What they kept him alive when he got
I don't think it's him. I don't think it's him. It can't be, can it?
Well, I don't know.
But it was Joe Cox.
I think longest person to have that disease lasted 17 years, and he's lasted about 50.
You don't live no further than your mid-30s.
Yeah.
Mid-30s is your maximum age. I mean, he's 72 now, is he?
Yeah, and then he's talking through some fucking computer, and you're expected to think that that's what he's thinking. I mean, fucking, what the fuck's that about? And don't get me started on fucking Brian Cox. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Eh?
Oh, yeah.
Things can only get better.
He is funny if shit he comes out with.
He can't answer a fucking question to save his life. Did you see that one where he's in with a load of kids? And virtually every question they asked him, he said, "Well, we don't know."
The truthful answer is we don't know.
You're supposed to be a professor at fucking Cambridge.
Yeah, he's just rolled out as the sort of science guy for the mainstream media, isn't he? He's the BBC bloke. He was in a pop band, and now he's like a professor. You know, he's dead. He's not only got credibility because he were in a band that had a number one, and by the way, that number one got fucking Tony Blair into power and all, so it should be destroyed from the fucking annals of history, just simply for that. So
things can only get worse.
Exactly. So anybody that listens to him, you're just you're in a fucking dream world.
How's he got there? How is he a professor at fucking Cambridge and people listen to him on BBC and you go, "You're a joke, mate. You're a fucking joke."
Well, we were talking about this, weren't we, Carl, the other day? And I think we were both. I wouldn't say both agreed finally on something, but I think we were both agreed as to where this were going. And
did you agree that West Yorkshire's better than South Yorkshire?
No, I didn't. We didn't agree with that. I mean, we didn't go fucking mad. We didn't go mad, did we, Carl? But we sort of agreed that the only real solution to this, the only realistic solution is that we take these fuckers down.
How are we going to do it, though?
Weren't we, Carl? Well, we have to take them down. Look, the people that are running country, right, all they are the fucking pussies that were at school that got picked on and then decided that they were going to get fucking, all these shitty fucking degrees that always sort of like did the homework for the bullies that were protecting him. And it's the same thing. It's only moved on a step. You've got these fucking pussies, these fucking pieces of crap that have just got everything against everybody in the fucking world because they seem to fit in a lot better than other people seem to fit in to social life a lot better than they did. So they've got this fucking big chip on the shoulder, and then they've got the fucking bullies protecting them again when we're talking about these roided up police who are just fucking thugs, really. They're just thugs. And we're getting towards a place where...
I got beaten up about 2 weeks ago by them. They're fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, right. Well,
and that were in my front room.
Shall I go on about Jason? What I talked to you about the other night? You'll have to give us a couple of minutes, though, because it's like 5 minutes in it to tell you what's gone on.
Yeah, go on.
All right, I'll shut up. I'll shut up then.
So what's happened? No, yeah, it's just quiet, mate.
Sorry,
so
mate.
What's going on? I had a van. I took it in Park Payment for a job, a Transit, 57 plate.
Can you get a bit closer? Can you get a bit closer to your mic, Carl, please?
Yeah. I was using my right to travel. So I had this van for about 12 months. It right outside my house. And on my birthday, I had a snooker match. I come out to get in my van. Anyway, this copper were parked up about end of the street. Anyway, after a few minutes, I thought, right, I'll just let him fuck off before I got club. So next minute, I set off up road after he's gone, and he was waiting right top. So anyway, he ends up coming, flashing blues and twos on. I jumped out at the van before he even got there and walking down the street. Next minute, give me your keys. So next minute, he's assaulting me, taking me keys from my van. So next minute, Ward's wagon, the pickup wagon, come about half an hour later after. I was telling him the law, but they don't know the law, do they?
No.
So I'm just trying to cut it a bit shorter. So then the guy come to pick the wagon up, my van up. I said, if you touch that van, I'm going to do you for theft. You. So the guy in the truck left. The copper then run down the street, jumped in my van, drove my van off, parked it up at police station downtown, left it there all weekend, and then took it to compound on Monday. I've never seen it since. Right? 3 months after that, I got a letter.
Where's it gone?
3 months after that, I got a letter from DVLA saying, so you were the last registered keeper of this van. Somebody's tried to re-register the van. Has it been stolen? So I wrote and I phoned the DVLA up saying, yeah, my van has been stolen. Somebody else is driving around in a stolen van, etc., etc. So anyway, a while after that, I went down to see my friend. You know, who gives us a bit, I won't say legal advice, but you know, your own interpretation of knowledge into information that you get past. So he said, right, what we'll do, we'll go for a judicial review. He said, first of all, you need a case number or crime reference number. So I went, right, no problem. So don't forget, this is like 3 or 4 months after the offence. Never heard anything from the police. Never got no endorsements on my licence when I got new insurance for my new van. Because I didn't sign anything.
How could that
right,
be
so,
possible? If it were your vehicle, surely they'd do you, wouldn't they? You know what I mean?
Well, it's my vehicle. Well, anyway, so they nicked my van. So DVLA sent me that letter. Oh, I'll just wait for this. So then, further down the line, when I went down to the police station, I said, right, can I have the corresponding crime reference number to this offence? What happened on this date? Because it was my birthday, I'll never forget it. Anyway, no, we don't have a crime reference number. I said, well, you must have a case number then. No case number. I said, right, as he said, and then they were like, and ahhing. I said, well, you must have something. What have you got? And they said, well, we've got a log number. I said, right, well, give me that then. So I ended up getting this log number. And then 2 days after I asked for that information from the police station, they sent me a notice trying to do me for driving with no insurance and driving while disqualified while my licence was revoked because I hadn't put previous points on, which had run out of time because it was about 7 years ago. So anyway, so the end. I still haven't got my van back.
What kind of van were it?
I were actually in my van driving up to my mates the other day, and I come out my house, and a bit further up street there were these two coppers stood outside this door. Anyway, I didn't pay any attention either. I just got in my van and set off. Anyway, about 5 minutes after I'd set off, I could hit blues and twos. And I thought, you're joking. I just knew straight away. I thought, these fuckers are coming for me. So anyway, I get up to my mates and I was queuing up to turn right, just down where my mate lives. And there were 2 cars in front of me. There were like 5 cars coming opposite way, waiting so I could turn, because I knew they wanted to see me then. Anyway, they come right up behind me. So when I got round the corner through these traffic lights, got out at the van. And
So you were
police.
driving a different vehicle, yeah?
Yeah, we're in a different vehicle. I bought another van.
All right.
So, yeah. So I went over to police car. As soon as I walked over, I seen who it were, and it were him. First thing he went, all right, Carl. I went, all right, Carl. I said, to be honest with you, I shouldn't be fucking speaking to you. I said, I should be arresting you for stealing my van. I said, that was theft. And he went, oh, yeah. Basically, now I drive around with Black's Law Dictionary in my van. So whenever I get stopped or whenever I pull it out. And basically, the attitude that he had, well, I'm not bothered what that says. I'm not bothered what that said. And he pulled me because I had a brake light out. Well, that's like harassment, isn't it? It's like they just never, ever leave you alone.
Don't you think the thugs now, they're not supposed to keep the peace, are they?
How is that possible? How can they do that? I mean, that's just pure theft, isn't it, that?
I'd suggest so, yeah. I've had some right run-ins with them. And they're getting worse. Like I said, about 2 weeks ago, I got jumped on by 2 coppers for fucking no reason. And you're like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, well, we had a bit of a confrontation at my door the other day with bailiffs coming around for a £600 bill.
God.
Listen, my daughter...
But coppers with them then, as well.
Yeah, well, I asked them to phone police, but that was for another reason. The guy alleged... Well, just let me make it clear. The guy from Marston's, the guy who assaulted me first, if anybody is listening on their behalf afterwards.
Yes, we don't want any lawsuits.
Yeah, no.
No.
Well, what happened where this guy grabbed hold of me, this bailiff, and he ripped me £200 coat, £100 t-shirt. Yeah, no, honestly, yeah, he assaulted me. So he alleged that I did assault him, but I never did.
What coppers there when he did that then?
No, that was just before they turned up. His mate.
Oh well, there you go. You see, they're never there. They're never there when you need them, are they?
This is another classic example. Basically, my daughter, who's just been for this operation tonight, what I missed first half for. She's not so well. She's poorly every night, and she suffers from a bit of anxiety and depression. And we sent her away because she weren't poorly to in-laws who live in Cyprus. So the school fined us 60 quid. The school fined my wife £60 for sending my daughter away to see her family abroad so she could sort her head out.
Is she on the tablet?
It's gone from 60 quid up to 600 and odd. Get your head around that. So the guy come round and he wheel clamped my wife's £2,500 car for a fine of 600 quid. It's like, is that not disproportionate? Jesus. You know, who the fuck are you? Take that wheel clamp. And basically, I was sat on the floor ripping this wheel clamp. This is what started it off. And I had it half over the tyre, one of them. I had it half over the tyre. And I'm pulling, and I thought, right, the only way to get it off is I'll let tyre down and I'll get it off. And the guy seen how we're going to get it off. And he went to get a big yellow one, with chain. So the guy with the chain...
Wireless angle grinders are good.
Yeah, well, I'm a builder, man. So then I went to stand. This is what happened. So... I know I can peaceful protest, yeah. I can stand wherever I want. It's my property, yeah. So I went to stand in front of the wheel where we were going to try to assemble this wheel clamp, and that's when he grabbed hold of me and threw me against wall.
Right.
So when police have come, what's happened after this is cheeky bastards, man. I tell you. So this copper got an allegation of assault. So I said to Copper, I tell you what it is. I want to make an allegation of assault. He didn't. He assaulted me. Me. I want him done.
You've got every right. You've got every right to defend yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, well,
you've got every right to defend yourself.
Well, criminal damage. It's caused criminal damage, hasn't it? I've had to get my wife's car professionally.
I mean, fair enough. But
the injustice goes even further because the day after, I thought, right, because I need to make a claim against this man or against that company. So I went down to the police station to make a complaint. And I were at the front desk and I said, right, can I speak? I don't want to speak to that guy who's involved in this case. I want to speak to somebody independent from that constable who turned up because I don't think he was serving me. I said I want somebody impartial. So anyway, this stupid cow behind the desk ends up getting the same copper. And he turned around to me and said, we're not taking it any further. And I said, no, I want to make a complaint, an allegation of assault and criminal damage. And they wouldn't accept it. They wouldn't do anything for me. They wouldn't accept the allegation, investigate it, or do anything. And I've got witness testimony. I've got evidence in court.
Do they actually do anything anymore apart from collecting fines, coppers?
Nothing.
I mean, do you actually see them? You don't actually see them anymore, do you?
They do. I've seen reports.
Believe me.
They do. They do have an interest in grooming children online.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, and hate crimes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate crimes on Twitter.
You don't see them on the streets when someone's getting fucking beaten up or whatever.
Well, this is another line that I've been looking at. Is a language I've been looking at. This American guy who's quite intelligent as well, and it's all about language, on about pronouns, and basically all this new fucking bullshit about hate speech and fucking gay, lesbian, gender movement.
That's the new, isn't it? Hate speech.
But it's not even real language, because all this language is it's known as pronouns. It's just made up
NLP,
shit.
neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro-linguistic programming.
NLP, yeah, neuro-linguistic programming. Do you think that Stephen Hawking hates speech?
Yeah, what happened to that?
Must do.
Do you reckon he can? I fucking don't.
Well, he's getting better care than the rest of us do. I mean, he's got different.
I've got more intelligence. I've got more intelligence in my fucking little finger than that fucking cunt's got. Seriously, I mean, and he's talking about fucking black holes. What the fuck's that about? Sorry if I'm swearing.
Yeah, well, you are swearing.
I don't trust any of these and any of these people. And basically, the first thing I start to do when I start looking into people and all these people, it's like who they are. What race are they from? What tribe are they from?
Well, you know what, I was intrigued because I've since the row happened with the women's pay at the BBC, and there was that Irish commentator who wrote an article saying that perhaps the two highest paid women employees of the BBC, it was perhaps because they were Jewish. I think it was Vanessa Feltz and Claudia Winkleman, yeah. And so since then, I've been looking to notice how many people in the media, and I was really interested when Max Rushton, who is on Talk Sport, who used to be on Soccer AM, he let slip. Well, I don't know. I don't mean let slip. I think it just came out in conversation. But he revealed that his real name was Max Rubenstein, and then I thought to myself, for God's sake, how many people in media are Jewish compared to the amount of Jewish people in society? Perhaps one.
Look at BBC. Yeah, look at BBC. You just Google. All you've got to do is Google how many people at BBC are Jewish, and it's just like unbelievable.
Well, I've been thinking about this.
I'm not racist. You don't
even have to qualify that. Forget about that. You don't even have to say that.
Well, but that's what you got. That's what you get told.
You don't.
Though,
not on this
you?
programme. You don't have to say that, right? You can say what you want.
Well,
nobody's going to judge you as racist. And anybody that does judge you as racist for having that opinion, then they can, fuck off from this station. We don't want you listening. Essentially,
I thought so, but I don't want to get sued again.
Well, who's going to sue you?
I mean, what happened if the general population found out one of the biggest? Why do children why do children of any age really get herpes, especially like below 12-month old?
Because they suck the cock when they're circumcised.
Where rabbis, when they circumcise the babies, they suck the penis.
Yeah, which
But,
in
you know,
itself,
I mean,
if that was a Muslim thing, it'd be an absolute outrage.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what I mean. That's what I mean. And they go on. I nearly had a fight. I nearly had a fight with my brother today about. Do you know that? Is it British First or something?
Britain First.
All right.
Yeah. Do you know that? And she's on trial for something. He's Jewish.
Are you talking about the? I think she's one of the leaders, isn't she? I can't remember her name.
Freda or something. Freda Johnson.
Yeah, and she was on trial in Belfast or something, wasn't she?
Yeah, that's it. She's on trial in Belfast, and you're like, right, she's not even English. So you know, how can people follow her?
Because people are fucking idiots.
This is where I think our police are getting their training from, to be honest with you. I think they maybe get sent over to Israel, or people from Israel get sent here to train.
Well, I say, look at Tommy Robinson. Look at Tommy Robinson. And you're just like, Jesus Christ. If you don't know that he's getting paid by in Israel, then, I mean,
I think you wanted to say something
then, didn't you? He's quite proud about it.
On the subject of our police being trained by Israel, it was up online a while back. The industrial estate in North London, where the Israeli security forces are over here training our police.
Give over.
No.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Say that again, Andy. Say that again, Andy.
Man, you just know, don't you?
Yeah, there's
Say that again, Andy.
Yeah, some industrial estate in North London was pinpointed, and it was where the Israeli Defence Force were training our police.
Fuck me.
Well, I prefer not to, Super Leeds, but it's been great having your company.
All right.
Well, listen, we've got about 3 minutes.
I don't want fucking Mossad. I don't want Mossad on my case. Put it that way.
We've only got a couple of minutes to go. So what I want to do is, Karl, because things were a bit fractured tonight and we didn't really get to many of the subjects that we were going to, I think we'll rebook you on again. Perhaps get you on next week, if on Tuesday, if you're up for that. Just so that we can cover in depth what we were going to cover. We were going to cover before.
About me?
Well, we'll have you on at any point, Super Leeds. But by the way, a little update. Wednesday are winning 1-0.
Are they?
Yeah. Wednesday are winning 1-0. So listen,
you're not going to get Leeds. You're not going to get Leeds in next round, are you? No.
I'm gonna. What I want to do is, we're not really constrained by any set time limits. But what I want to do is, I want to give you a minute apiece. Just so that you can say your last little bit, and then we'll end the show. So for you first, Super Leeds, give us a minute on what you'd like to say. What you'd like to say about anything really.
Marching on together.
Apart from that,
we're gonna see you with na. Oh, it's been a pleasure. Actually.
Oh, great. It's been great having you along as well, and thank you very much for stepping into the breach when we had a little bit of a crisis.
Well, I'm looking forward to the check in the post.
I'm sure it'll be in there somewhere. I don't know if they do gyros anymore. Do they do gyros anymore? We'll send you a gyro check.
I don't know. Yeah, well, that'll do.
What about you, Karl? Last minute, are you okay with coming on again next week, or we can reschedule for another time, and so we can get through what we didn't get through today?
Yeah, we had quite a lot to get through what we discussed before we come on air, didn't we, when we spoke on Friday. So yeah, we'll come on again and we'll run through it all. It'll be quite interesting.
All right,
giving some time, but I just hope if there's one thing.
I hope your daughter's all right, Karl.
Yeah, Sam. Yeah, cheers, man. Thanks for that.
Look at that, love over the Pennines.
If there's one thing I would say to everybody is don't let the invisible walls of your mind rule your life. Don't let these invisible walls and constructs, because that's what they are. They don't physically exist. They're just a construct, like time's a construct. It's all a construct. Don't let these walls of construct rule your life. Live free.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Karl Davies, over on the wrong side of the Pennines, and thank you very much to Super Leeds on the right side of the Pennines, even if they're a little bit further north than I'd really like them to be. But I'm sure I'll be up in West Yorkshire at some point in the next couple of days.
I owe you a pint anyway.
Yes, you certainly do. And a big thank you.
Can you remember, I followed you on Twitter, and when Leeds played Wednesday, I said we'll have a pint on it, and obviously you beat us.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'll be up for that pint at some point. I promise you. Big thanks to Andy as well for jumping in at late notice. He's going to be back again on Monday when we've got Larry Warren on, so don't miss that on Monday. And next Tuesday, if we can cross the T's and dot the I's, we'll get Karl on again, and we'll go through the things with unmolested from people from Leeds, and having to dash off to the hospital to pick up to pick up your daughter. Again, on behalf of everybody here at Raconteurs News, we hope your daughter's going to be okay. Thanks again, Super Leeds. Thanks, Andy. See you next week, and we're going to play out with this one. Andy was waxing lyrical about it earlier on, so I feel I must play it again. Take it easy. Ta-ra a bit, everybody. Bye.
I am a 1 in 10, a number on a list. I am a 1 in 10, even though I don't exist. Nobody knows me, but I'm always there. Statistical reminder of a world that doesn't care. Arms unfolded oak, malnutrition dulls my hair. My eyes are black and lifeless with an unprivileged stare. I'm the beggar on the corner, will no one spare a dime? I'm the child that never learned to read, cause no one spared the time. I am a 1 in 10, a number on a list. I am a 1 in 10, even though I don't exist. Nobody knows me, but I'm always there. Statistical reminder of a world that doesn't care. Murderer, the victim, I'm a license to a gun. I'm a sad, bruised old lady in an alley or in a slum. I'm a middle-aged businessman with chronic heart disease. I'm another teenage suicide in a street that has no trees. I am a 1 in 10, a number on a list. I am a 1 in 10, even though I don't exist. Nobody knows me, but I'm always there. Statistical reminder of a world that doesn't care. Starving third world mother, refugee without a home. I'm a housewife hooked on Valium, a pensioner alone. I'm a cancer-ridden specter, discovering the earth. I'm another hungry baby, I'm an accident at birth. I am a 1 in 10, a number on a list. I am a 1 in 10, even though I don't exist. Nobody knows me, but I'm always there. Statistical reminder of a world that doesn't care. I am a 1 in 10, a number on a list. I am a 1 in 10, even though I don't exist. Nobody knows me, but I'm always there. Statistical reminder of a world that doesn't care. am a 1 in 10. A number on a list. I am a 1 in 10. Even though I don't exist, nobody knows me, but I'm always there. Statistical reminder of a world that doesn't care.